Hello. I noticed that there was a little bit of a gap in the market for map editor tutorials. No one really knows what they're doing if they log in, and it's actually a pretty complex editor. So I'm gonna make a little tutorial deal here. Okay. So logged in. They changed this thing a couple updates ago, so now it looks like this. You go to create here, and here's the map editor. You can edit your maps. They also changed this UI. So here's some like maps that I've made. You can also, like download other maps, like what I have, a couple stuff. But yeah, create a map. You can do whichever. You will see simple if you don't have standard or club. If you just have basic, you will only see simple. Advanced is for the paid versions. This doesn't really matter. You can change this later. So you just click those. So, what do the buttons do? Exit, self-explanatory. Save and question. This thing sucks. This is a tiny little menu and it's like stupid. Okay. Moving on, block mode. This is where all of the building blocks go, like the full block kind of deals. These are all pre-baked into the game. Sometimes you can get custom blocks, which I'll go over later, to show up here, but for the most part it's normally just these. Most custom blocks end up in the items menu, which are like, your trees, poles, these new checkpoint and thingy effect block thingies, flags, signs, fog machines, pipes, little RPG element thingies, and then custom blocks, which I'll tell you about later. Macro block mode, I don't really use this, so I don't want to talk about it. Skinning block, you go there and I'll show you how to do that later. It's basically, you can change signs. Yeah, eraser, self-explanatory. Undo, redo, picker tool, which you can also do control for, just picks a block. Copy paste mode, you can copy different things. I'll show you how to use that later. Free look tool, yeah, you just hold Alt and that's how you can actually like move around your screen. Yeah. Block properties, I think you can just do that in mesh editor. I don't know what this means. Plugins mode, don't know, I don't use that, so I don't want to talk about it. Map options, this is where you can choose metals, light settings, music, all that stuff. Media tracker, I'll go into this later. This is like how you can make a GPS or effects while you're driving. So you can make it like sandy if you're doing like a desert kind of thing. This is also how you do looping cameras. If you want to switch them to camera 3 in order to go through looping so that they can see better, then you do that in media tracker. Light settings, you can set the graphics thing and what time of day it is. Test mode, if you have blocks, you can press the thing and you can test it from that thing. When you go through a checkpoint, it saves your speed and location. So if I were to drive through a checkpoint, if I were to like accelerate and go to the right a little bit, then when I go out of it and get it snapped in there, not over here, not close, but like snapped in, you see it's snapped, and click it, I'm off to the right before I can start touching things. Yeah. Cool. Validate the track. Once you have your finish and start, you can validate it, showing that it's possible, and that's also a good way to run through the map. Yeah. So let's start in the blocks menu. You have 3 modes for the blocks menu. You have normal block modes. This is like, you can place a thing, right? But you can't place another thing on top of it. It'll just replace it. And then if also you have like a dirt and it's not with the road connector, you can't place it here in normal block. You can place it on the side because there's no node there. That's what ghost block mode is for. So in ghost block you can place things on top of each other. You can do that shenanigans there. Yeah. Okay, free block. This is kind of cool. You can like rotate it if you want, which you can't do in the other ones. You can in the items menu normally, and then plus minus to rotate it. So plus minus on the numpad, I guess. I just tried it on my keyboard, didn't work, but on the numpad, plus minus. I don't know how to do it if you don't have a numpad, but yeah, you can plus minus it this way. Right arrow, left arrow, front arrow, back arrow. Yeah, just like can do that, and it also is free. It doesn't snap to the grid. Air block mode, I always have this on, so then you're able to just place blocks and there's no like annoying scaffolding underneath it. Also for eraser tool, just use X, hold X and press the block you want to erase. That's what I normally do. Then you can go into custom blocks. I don't really use it in the blocks menu. I always go to the items menu. I'll explain how to do that later. Items, you have item mode. Then I wanted to add a pole to the middle of it, I guess. It'll snap onto like the different spots where poles are supposed to go on the road. You know, you see I'm moving it and staying in the middle. If I don't want that, I can go to free ground block, which means it goes anywhere on the surface. If I have a different elevation like the ground, it'll snap to the ground. If I want to just have it free placing, I can place it in the air up here. So this will be not on the ground there. And then I can just go to whatever elevation I want here. Yeah. So that's what that does. Modes, you click to the side and then you can get to item editing. This is what I normally do for custom blocks. Edit selected item, create new item, or create new item from selected block. I always do either this one or this one. If you already have a custom block that you've made, you click edit and then you can click on the custom item that you want to like do, like you do this and click it, because if you go create new item from selected block, it won't select this. You have to use this one if it's already a custom block. Okay. Macro block, don't know how to use that. Okay. Skinning. If I have a sign, I don't want Grand League on it. If I want to put an arrow on it, I can go to skinning, click on it, and I can put the background off, put like a down arrow, or I can put a snow background and a down arrow, or fallen down, fallen right. Yeah, you can just do that kind of stuff in the skinning menu. And if you want to change the color of a road, it's automatically on the sides are, it's not the color of the actual pavement, it's the color of the sides. It's just here, you change it over here, you click it, and it's black on the sides. Same with like plastic, for example, black plastic, red plastic, you know, you get the theme. Normal's just yellow. Let's go over each of these columns. So you have road, dirt, sausage, or bump road, some people call it, which is kind of weird, like sausage. Bobsleigh, and then this is like pavement without the borders, it's just road, but like, yeah. Dirt without, like, if you see these, the dirt kind of has like a tilt, like this kind of. This one's just flat dirt. So yeah. Then you have ice, flat ice, which is this, but like not sloped. This is hard to drive on. You have to like counter steer and stuff. Then we have grass, which is like dirt with like slightly less grip. You like kind of slide a little bit around. Then you have plastic, which is the slidiest, I don't know, but there's very fast acceleration. Water, which is just like, I don't know, kind of weird. It's just water. Then you have some decoration stuff. These ones are pretty good for decoration. You can also use them in like RPG kind of deals, you know. Then you have this checkpoint ring. This has ring CPs, ring finish. These are new. These are not here. This is a custom thing I downloaded. They're like effect rings, I guess. It used to just be the reactor up. Then you have signs. These like tubular thingies, totally tubular. Then you have these bracing kind of deals. They're pretty neat for decoration. You got lights, which you can change in the skinning menu. You can change the color, and you always have to compute shadows because it will not update automatically. You have to compute shadows after selecting the color you want. This one is full of your platforms, black platform. These ones are a full block. These ones are not a full block. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but just know that if you want to actually drive on stuff, use number 2. If you want to use these for decoration, use number 1. Yeah. Downloaded. Okay. Items. 2 columns, official and custom. Official gives you all the official things already in the base game, what I already explained earlier. Custom, you can download item.mania.exchange, and on this website you can log in. I have an account, but I don't want to sign in right now. And you can search what block you want. So let's say you wanted like a special dirt turn, like this one. You want this like line here. You would go here, you would download it, and then you would put it in your post-production Joe here. I put the thing on the other screen, so yeah, it's just in your Trackmania 2020 thing. It's right here. Here's a bunch. Yep, there you go. But yeah, that's how you get those. I would definitely recommend using the shortcuts because it's annoying to hit stuff, you know. So like I almost always have my finger on Alt, like so often my hand is on the Alt key. When you have like the node has these like white or black things, that means it's on a half block. See, it's like halfway between this. Yeah, so that's for mostly loops. And you can also have these goofy looking turns that are kind of weird. But yeah, most of the time it's going to be because you are going to do a loop. Like if you are just going along, right, and you want to do a loop, then you go over to this column, do one of these to get off to the side there, and then you do your loopy boy or whatever. Yeah. Effect blocks. What do they do? Turbo makes you go fast. Bigger turbo makes you go faster. Bigger turbo makes you go faster. Reactor, when you hit it this direction, it's a reactor down. When you hit it this direction, it's a reactor up. Okay, so reactor down pushes you onto the ground. So this is like if you have a wall ride that, what is it doing right now? Okay, well yeah, obviously when you flip the car upside down, it'll be pushing up. But it's like if you have like a crazy wall ride that's going all over the place, and you keep like sliding off the wall, you put down a reactor down, and then you stick to the wall better because it's pushing down on the wall. Reactor up, absolute opposite. You're flying. If you go on a ramp, you go like up, you know, and you cruise along the ground. Yeah. That's if you wanna. I don't know. There's not really a good spot to use one unless you want to fly a long distance or something like that. There's 2 different types of them. There is the yellow one, which is softer, and then the orange one, which like really pushes you down. Also gives you a bit of a speed boost as well when you go over them. Yeah. Cruise control walks your speed at whatever speed you go over it at, and yeah. No brakes, no engine. freewheeling. No steering, can't steer. Slow-mo, it just slows down what you're seeing, so it doesn't actually slow your speed, it just slows, you know, it doesn't slow your acceleration, it just makes it take longer. So if I go over it, it just makes it go slower. But I'm still going 182. I didn't. Fragile, it's basically when you hit, you start shaking and your car basically brakes when you don't hit stuff flat. Reset resets all of these, including the boosts here. And these boosts run out after 7 seconds. Going through a checkpoint will negate all of these. It will not negate a reactor boost. You need to go over a reset or wait 7 seconds for the reactor to go away. If you want to make a custom block, first of all, why you need to make a custom block. Let's say you're doing like a sloped kind of thing, and you're here, and you're like, I don't know, turning like this, and you want to come out of it, and you're like, oh well, how should I do that? Obviously you do a better job lining it up, and then you want to go out that way. Oh wait, there's a wall there, so how do I take the wall out? Well, I'm glad you asked. You'll have your thing, you go to item, you go to the arrow, and go to the custom block kind of deal. Edit selective item is for items that are already custom items. Create item from new block is for editing blocks, which is what I normally use for. Big screen, there's basically nothing on here that really matters. Item type, you can change what type it is, you can change the name, but you can do that on the save, so it doesn't really mean anything. Placement parameters is pretty important for later after you finish editing, but what you want is the mesh here. You click on the gear and sprocket deal, and now you have 2 layers. One is the geometry for the collisions, and one is the geometry. You're gonna want to start. I always start with the collisions. I don't know why, and it's this checkered thing. So you click on it, and you want to make sure whichever one's like blinking is the one that's going to change. If you want to just delete one wall, you want to make sure it's only on this one. Then you can go to geometry and select this wall here, and you can delete the wall, and then you can delete each of these after each other. I don't want to like go through that because I've done it so many times, and I literally just have a model of this exact thing. So yeah, you'll end up with that, and then you'll have a custom block. It'll appear in here, and whatever name you gave it, I'll just make a map here and show you all the things that I've talked about. So I'll start with this, with air block on, boosh, just like put some bros down here. And when you're mapping, you want to make sure that the car isn't turning while the gears shift. I can show you what that sounds like. Like where it goes like when it changes pitch, you know, like a gear shift. That's when it's shifting gears. You don't want the car to be turning there as a mapper, because it's kind of annoying to play as a player when the gears are not calculated, because when they don't want to be turning when the gears shift. But if the map makes them do that, then they get mad and they're like, oh, terrible gears. But you see, I just placed a couple blocks, so now you can, you know, like turn and stuff. And so if I wanna continue this, maybe I'll put in like, I don't know, a turn. You can do what I'm about to do in like normal blocks. You just put a You just put one of these in and then put a turn, but I don't want to have an extra thing, and I have this custom block on me, so why not use it? And then, I don't know, just put a finish. At this point, I can hit validate and validate my map. Whoa, I'm so good. Okay, so if I want that to be my thing, I can click on save replay. If you want to make like a how-to guide on how to play your map like in-game, you can go to the media tracker here. You can change edit in-game here, and let's say you wanted your GPS to be when you go backward. Sometimes I make it like over here, you like write a sign, but let's say you just wanted it to be when you go backwards, it shows you the GPS. You drag the trigger across where you want the car to go when the trigger gets triggered, when you want the trigger to be triggered. Then you can, where is it? I think it's here, yeah. Import ghost. That's what this is, yeah. My replays, let's see, yeah, this one. I can open it in here. Here's the ghost. I can add a player camera. I can drag it to as long as I want it to show. Drag it to there about. And then I can change the target to the ghost that I just made. I can change the camera angle if I want it to be like a cam 2 kind of deal. I can make it a default. Yeah. So there we go. So now we can save it as this. Overwrite. Okay. And then I can validate the track again. And now this time, if I go back, it shows me the GPS. I don't have my hands on it right now, and it'll show the thing, you know, with the epic wall grind there. And I can get out of there. So you want to make a loop cam. First of all, let me add a looping in here. So it's easier to see when you're in a loop if you're in a different camera than cam 1. It's kind of hard to see it in loops in cam 1, so you want to switch it to cam 3 for the loop so that they can see the exit and judge how they're turning better. Yeah. So you go into media tracker again, you edit the in-game, you can add another trigger, drag it across every possible spot that they could go. So if it doesn't reach all the way to one side, you can just add an extra block. It doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be perfect. So you put it there, and you can add a player camera. You can change it, force it into internal, and then you drag this as long as you want, as long as it would possibly take someone to clear the loop, even if they're going super slow. You don't want to time it by how long you took. You want it to just be how long it would ever take under any circumstances, because then you add a trigger at the end of the wall ride to get you out. This also works for like wall ride turnaround thingies. Then you add one, or no, you just leave this trigger blank and it'll reset this trigger, because if you add a player camera and put it to default, it'll put it in the default camera. But if you're someone who plays in cam 3 like myself, it's annoying when you get out of a wall ride and it forces you into a random camera when you're already in cam 3 to begin with. Like you're cruising along here in cam 3 and then you're just still in cam 3 and then it switches you to cam 1. You're like, what? No, I don't want that. So if you just leave this trigger blank, it'll do that. Yeah. So if now I go here and chill in cam 1 like this, get swapped to cam 3, hit this trigger, I'm back in cam 1. Epic. Thanks for watching this this guide on the basics of the map editor. Yeah, I guess just happy mapping and have fun. Bye.